You're listening to the Abolitionist Round Table, patriotic Black American conservatism, with your hosts, Del, Phil, and Janice, leading the charge and advancing the 4%. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600.
And we are back. And before we go any further, what I wanted to do was some of the legislation that has been passed surrounding the Roe versus Wade is the Hyde Amendment.
Right.
And this calls into attention what's in the public today about the fetal tissue debacle that's going on.
Yeah.
And the people that are telling us that, oh, this is really a little sleight of hand by the people operating the cameras, they got all kind of excuses.
Right.
And you see how insensitive is the word that they always use. That what's her name? The leader of Planned Parenthood,
Cecile Richards. Yeah.
Did you see how indignant she got? You know, as if what we're doing here is not any of your business.
Yeah.
Or whatever is going on. You know, we're going to continue this.
Well, remember, Phil, that first denial that she issued just after like the first couple came out, she said, "We apologize for the tone that was used by the woman, in the salad bar there at the restaurant, sipping her wine and stuffing her face full, and then the one who was saying, 'I want a Lamborghini.'" Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
Well, see, the
These
thing
people
is,
are cold, Phil. I can't. They lack a soul.
Well, you notice that
and they lack a brain.
She made an apology.
Yeah.
Originally, and then I believe it was, was it Ted Cruz that was asking her what was she apologizing for? Did you see any of that?
No, I did not see that part. No.
Well, there was the questioning in the hearings.
Sure.
Somebody asked her, "What were you apologizing for when you originally made the statement?" And she would not say what she was apologizing for. The whole thing about it is the same attitude that you see out of Hillary Clinton.
Same arrogant.
That's exactly right. And they will not back down. They're going, but the people that vote for them expect that out of them. They want that out of them. If they back down, they will throw them overboard faster than anything you've seen.
And Phil, considering how much government largesse these people receive on a yearly basis, that makes each and every taxpayer in this country complicit in the slaughter of what so far we have no idea exactly how many children have been butchered in the womb since before 1973. Planned Parenthood was performing abortions in New York as early as January of 1970. As early as 1970, well in advance of the Supreme Court decision in January 22nd, 73.
Because they had legalized it.
Yeah.
And I think there was another state that had also.
Right.
But I knew at the time I was a teenager, and I knew of some people that had made a trip to New York to have an abortion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it was a time. So that was the idea of putting this thing. But when they passed the Hyde Amendment,
right,
Henry Hyde said that he wished that he could stop abortions on all women.
Yeah.
But he was limited to stopping government funded. And so by that limitation being put on him, this is how we got a surge in the offices and butcher shops of the Planned Parenthood.
Right, yeah.
And so what, I don't know if you know it or not, but the Hyde Amendment is not a law. A lot of people don't know that.
No, it's not.
And that law,
the Mexico City policy is not a law.
Yeah. But what it does is, and this is what the Democrats really are railing against. They want to be able to have something known, just like when Hillary Clinton told this guy from Black Lives Matter that she was not interested in changing hearts and minds. She was interested in making laws that will give the people their God-given rights to certain things. That's what the whole thing is about. That's why I have said that the strategy that conservatives have got to figure out a way to do, and that is to rein in that Supreme Court. Because the liberals have figured out that if they want a right, the best way to do that and get that right is to go through the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And they've been very right, and they've been very accurate in that idea.
Right.
That was the way to go to make things law.
Well, you're interested in what you said about the Supreme Court. There's a Supreme Court decision I bring up here in the book. It's called Buck versus Bell, and that was a Supreme Court decision that was made in 1927 with Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes presiding. And what it did, without getting down into the weeds and going over the whole thing, giving the whole thing away, because it's here in the book in the chapter in eugenics, was that it codified or legitimized the state law, Virginia state law. Mandating coercive sterilization for any number of subjective criteria. If you were drunk, you could be sterilized. If you were shiftless, you could be sterilized. If you were indigent, again, sterilized. If you had epilepsy, sterilized. All kinds of things. And and this was referred to during the Nuremberg trials by one of the Nazi eugenicists who cited the Virginia law, and he also cited, if you ever watched Judgment at Nuremberg, Maximilian Schell, he talks about that, and he says with Oliver Wendell Holmes, he says 3 generations of imbeciles is enough. Yeah. Now, who in God's name is in this room or in this world is qualified to judge a person's worth based on their physical characteristics or on the circumstances by which they were conceived?
Well, you notice that the liberals are very, very quick to say things like, "Well, they are using religion to push their racism, their sexism, their homophobia."
Man,
and it is amazing how they are able to just obliterate the meaning of words anymore.
Okay, let's use an example here. Okay, I shouldn't shove my values down your throat. Yeah. Well, I don't believe in armed robbery. Yeah. But Del, I'm not going to stop you from robbing Phil if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing, and that's where so many conservative people, so many believers have been cowed. Like judge not, or you shall be, or let's be judged. The thing is, we have to make judgment. We have to make value judgments.
Matter of fact, it's a whole book. It's called Judges in the Bible.
Right.
A whole book on it.
And we have said many times in what we do as being pro-life is that we have to change people's hearts and minds.
Right.
That is the most important imperative that deals with this. You don't want to go tell somebody, well, you have to do this, you have to do that. But guess what? The liberals swear up and down that they're pro-choice, but they don't want to give you any choice.
The only choice they want you to have is to whether or not kill your baby. Okay, they don't want you to be able to choose what to eat, or what to drive, the ways and means in which you can heat or cool your homes.
Yeah. Let's don't even get into how you manage your money.
Right. Oh my God, we're too stupid. Don't you know that? Here they are. They're going to raise the debt ceiling. Early part of November, and here all these apocalyptic stories of gloom and doom. 70% of the government still functions. The bathrooms may be out at the national parks, like I discovered during the last shutdown down in Harper's Ferry. But other than that, I didn't notice it. Washington wasn't a ghost town when we got there. It's so again, it's like.
Well, see, the thing that what about this Hyde Amendment is that the Supreme Court upheld the idea of an amendment to limit the abortions to if you were raped or if you were a victim of incest or something like that. They did allow those limitations on it. So the liberals would like to take away those limitations.
Yep, for any reason.
Yeah.
At any time. At any time, like we saw with Kermit Gosnell.
Yeah.
At any time.
And that's exactly where we are.
Or any time within 2 years after they're born.
Yeah.
Like Peter Singer from Princeton University believes.
Well, you see...
of course, he doesn't believe personhood begins until after 4 months of life. So,
and people warn people about the idea of legalizing euthanasia.
Yeah.
Right? So
California,
California,
Washington
here
State,
we go, you know?
Yeah, three other states.
Yeah, so, I mean, 2 years old, now it's translated to 75. You know?
Belgian Parliament a couple years ago.
And it's just like the article I read that a person is suggesting the minimum wage should be $1 million an hour. You know, because that's that snowball effect.
Yeah.
And it's constant. And it so much speaks of what Dell said. A return to godly principles is really the only way out of this. Because I don't care what kind of laws we write, because we have presidents that don't follow the laws that we write. I don't care what kind of neighborhoods we create. If we don't have a return to biblical principles of valuing life, and again, like the Constitution says, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Sure.
Those are so fundamental. We've gotten away from them.
First and inalienable right to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know, let's go to our lines and see what some of our listeners have to say about it. We're going to go to Gary from Hazel Park. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, Bruce, congratulations on your publication.
Well, thank you much. Thank you very much, Gary. It was about a 3-year process all told, and
Hey, Janice, you were absolutely right what you just said about going back to godly principles. One of the things that we never hear, it's just like it's been cut right out of the conversation, is this thing called abstinence.
Yep.
If you can't take on the responsibility, the mental, the physical, the financial responsibilities of a child, you should not be having sex.